Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with a recap of The Innocent Before Lockup, Episode 1, Taron Hill. Now, this episode premiered after Episode 15 of Life After Lockup, where Chance threw his epic hissy fit in bed, flailing arms and legs and all. After laughing my ass off at Chance, I sat here and watched Taron Hill, and I wanted to cry my eyes out. Now let's get right into it. In case you guys haven't heard about it by now, Innocent After Lockup is a limited 3-part series that is going to air immediately after Life After Lockup, and it tells the story about people that were basically innocent before lockup and after lockup. These people were arrested for crimes that they did not commit and are seeking compensation. Meet Taron Hill at 35 years old. This is also Taron at 20, okay? When he was 19, he was charged with 2 counts of murder. This is a clipping from a newspaper article that I found online, okay? He was charged with 2 counts of murder. He was accused of fatally shooting 2 women on September 25th, 2004. As he told in the episode, the shooting occurred in September. He was arrested a couple of months later in December, okay? Robin Batty, 45, was sitting in a parked car near Lewis and Thurman Streets in South Camden when she was shot once in the head and died at the scene. Tanisha Lewis, 23, who was also standing on the street, was shot several times and died October 1st. As you see here in an article published March 14, 2007, a Camden man convicted in the shooting deaths of 2 bystanders was sentenced yesterday in Superior Court to 60 years in prison without parole. Taron Hill was convicted in October of 2 counts of murder and weapons offenses for the deaths of Robin Batty, 45, and Tanisha Lewis, 23, both of Camden. Hill fired into a crowd near Lewis and Thurman Streets on September 25th, 2004. 2004 was the year my son was born and the year that Taron's first child, we will learn, was also born, intending to shoot a man with whom he had a dispute. Batty and Lewis were attending a party at a nearby home. Batty, sitting in the back seat of a friend's car parked near the intersection, was hit by 1 stray round. Lewis, standing nearby, was hit 3 times. Now, the details of the crime: total tragedy. The victims: total tragedy. One of them was only 23 years old. A young life cut short. Now, this crime affected many, many people, okay? Not only did it affect Taron, it affected his relationship with his brother, okay? Because, first of all, his brother refused to come see him in prison. And then there was a rumor that his brother was the one that committed the crime, okay? So can you imagine that you're sitting in prison, your brother refuses to come see you, and you hear a rumor that the reason why is because he's the one that did the crime? Yeah, okay. Now, speaking of his daughter, he finally gets to reunite with his daughter now that he's been exonerated. He gets to reunite with his daughter, takes his daughter back to the old neighborhood, and, he's like reminiscing about how, maybe his mother did give him and his brothers a little bit too much freedom, but she was a single mother. She did the best she could. Then he starts talking about how his daughter suffered growing up without him. You know, his daughter was only like 2 months old when he went away. Okay. And I'm just sitting here thinking, damn, this happened in 2004, the year my son was born. Okay. And I'm just like, damn, this was 19 years ago. Okay. So she would do projects about her dad. Okay. And he's reading a school project that she did. And he breaks down in tears. Okay. And this is just like so sad and so tragic. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay. Now, what blew my mind about this, okay, is that this didn't only happen to one person in this family, okay? Two members of the same family were accused of crimes that they did not commit, went to jail, served long amounts of time in jail, and were eventually exonerated. His uncle, his uncle Anthony, went to jail in 1991 and finally came home in 2004. And a couple of months later, his nephew got arrested and went to jail. Okay? So his uncle Anthony, I'm gonna read you just a little excerpt. Okay? Check this out. Shortly after midnight on April 23rd, 1989, after an evening of drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, and ingesting cocaine, Wayne Hunter and 20-year-old John Weiss drove from Haddon Township to nearby Camden, New Jersey in search of more cocaine. Weiss directed Hunter, who was driving, to a street corner where Weiss bought drugs in the past. When they arrived, Weiss signed to a person who approached them and told them to pull over. The man then went into an alleyway between a house and a tavern. When the man returned, he stuck a pistol through the window of a car and said, "Give me all your money." Weiss shouted, "Go." Hunter accelerated. The gun discharged, and Weiss was shot in the heart. As Hunter sped away, he struck another car and kept going. He took Weiss to a hospital in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where Weiss was pronounced dead. Hunter led police to the time and place lounge in Camden where he said the shooting occurred. He said he remembered the bar because it had a cyclone fence around it. However, there was no alley next to the lounge, as Hunter has described. Hunter, who was nearsighted and not wearing his glasses that night, told police the gunman was wearing an aqua green or turquoise-colored jacket and a sweatshirt and possibly a knit hat. He described the shooter as 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. The following day, the police showed Hunter a photo lineup, and he selected the picture of 19-year-old Anthony Weiss, the only person in the 8-person lineup wearing a hat. Weiss was known as Man Cakes and was the leader of the Hilltop Posse, a street gang whose territory included the Time and Place Lounge. He had been previously convicted of possession and distribution of narcotics. Weiss was arrested on April 25th, 1989, and charged with murder, conspiracy to commit robbery, armed robbery, and weapons violations. Several days later, Donna Carter, a cocaine addict who said she had purchased drugs from Weiss, told police that she saw Weiss come to the car when 19-year-old Brian Anderson, who fired the shot that killed Weiss. Okie dokie. So now, okay, we have, this is after he got a new trial. It says here, Donna Carter testified that she falsely incriminated Ways in her initial statement to the police because she was high and afraid that she will be charged with drug possession, prostitution, and other offenses. Carter claimed that she was told what to say by the assistant prosecutor. She testified at that time she was only interested in using drugs and did not want to get locked up. She also claimed that police officers planted 8 bags of cocaine on her before she spoke to prosecutors, and then presumably because of her cooperation, let her keep the drugs. So it also says Ways' cousin, Thomas Ways, testified while him and Franklin King were in the state prison and the county jail together. King twice admitted to him that he shot Weiss. Franklin King testified that he admitted to killing Weiss to at least one other person, but insisted that it was a false claim and that he did not kill Weiss. King confirmed that around the time of the shooting that he possessed a .44 Magnum, that he tried to sell it to a few people, and when asked by one prospective buyer whether there was a body on the gun, he had replied that there might be. King testified that Ways was innocent, saying that someone else did it, it wasn't this guy. The judge conducting the hearing asked King if he knew the trigger guy, and King replied, I do not know who did it. However, I do know who did it. However, the judge did not ask King to identify the gunman. So basically, he Anthony Ways was exonerated, and in 2008 he settled a wrongful conviction lawsuit for $280,000. So 2 family members in the same family. Okay, that like blew my mind. So Taron has an attorney who's going to fight for money for him. Okay, and this guy Justin Bonds is no fucking joke. I looked him up. He has the credentials, and let me tell you, he is holding back for a reason. Okay, in his fight with the state of New Jersey for Taron, he's gonna get him some bread. This guy Justin Bonds. Okay, I looked him up, and he helped this guy Vincent Simmons down in Louisiana. Okay, get exonerated after serving nearly 44 years in prison on rape charges. Okay, raping 2 twin sisters. There was a 48 hours episode called Please Don't Tell that came out last year in May of 2022. Okay, and this is the official synopsis of the episode. Twin sisters say they were attacked by a black man. Are they telling the truth or hiding a family secret? So I'm going to put the link for the trailer, the preview of the 48 hours episode in the description. But I was like, whoa. Okay, this guy, Justin Bonds, is no joke. He went down to Louisiana. He looked at this guy's case basically because his wife watched a documentary on this guy, Vincent Simmons' case, and told him, you're going to write him and you're going to help him. And like he says, when your wife demands you to do something, you do it. So this New York lawyer got himself involved in this Louisiana case. And this case supposedly had no appeals left. This guy was going to be in jail for the rest of his life. And Vince and Justin Bonds said, hell's no, I'm from New York. I don't take no for an answer. And there was so many civil rights violations And this is the day that he told him that he was going to be released, that he got him exonerated. So this guy is no joke. Taron picked a really good lawyer. Okay. I mean, it says right here in 1977, a jury of 11 men and one black woman found Vincent Simmons guilty of the attempted rape of Karen and Sharon Sanders, twin sisters from Marksville, Louisiana. The twin sisters, who were both white, were 14 years old at the time, with their older cousin Keith locked in the trunk of the car where the incident took place. Simmons was convicted at the age of 25 and maintained his innocence for over 44 years. In 2020, Simmons, who was represented by New York attorney Justin Bonis, who was partnered with Louisiana attorney Ed Laradin Jr., Bonis said he made it his duty to liberate Simmons, and they filed a motion for a new trial on October 16, 2020. And he got him exonerated. Okay? Now, this is Derek Hamilton, Justin's paralegal. And Derek Hamilton knows a thing or two about being exonerated himself. Okay? Derek Hamilton had his murder conviction overturned in New York State in 2015. Okay? So he knows a thing or two about being exonerated. And he, okay, was instrumental in an unparalleled investigation in this dirty detective and the NYPD back in 2018. Okay, so he like almost brought down the NYPD at one point. So this guy, okay, knows he knows his shit. Justin Bonis, and he has his staff. Taron, I feel like Taron is in pretty good hands. Even though he's stressed right now, Taron is feeling the stress. He has a business, a cleaning business. He lives in North Carolina. Okay. He has a wife. He has a newborn baby, Justice. Another baby on the way. Okay. Things are happening fast and money is low. So Taron is feeling the pressure. He's been home for about 18 months, and things are happening very quickly for him. Okay? I mean, his wife is a childhood sweetheart that, he hit up on social media, and things happen very quickly between them. And, things are falling into place, but there's no money. And we all know it's really hard without money. So, but with Justin's playing hardball with the state of New Jersey. 2 million is not worth, okay, what Taron missed out on. Okay, 2 million ain't shit. Especially that New Jersey has a compensation law where they give you $50K for every year that you were falsely imprisoned. So basically, he would walk away with like what, $850K, which isn't shit. I'm sorry. Okay. So Justin isn't playing, and Taron's like, if we get up to like the 5 million, then I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Okay, because like his wife says, we're not getting the whole 2 million. It'll go to attorneys, it'll go to bills. How much are we going to be left over with? And it makes total sense. It makes total sense. And the other victim of this whole situation is Taron's mom. Because, both of her sons were affected by this. Both of her sons were a victim of the justice system. Okay. Taron went to jail. Her other son was also, accused of the crime, whispers, oh, he was the one driving the car, and it was just a mess. It was just a mess, and she suffered. She suffered so much through those years. And she was there for Taron, and she tries to hold the family together, and the justice system failed her. So Anthony, Taron's brother, hasn't reached out to him since he's been home. So Taron is going to be the bigger man. And he reached out to him, and the long-awaited meeting has finally happened. Okay? And Taron and Anthony sit down, and Anthony says, the rumors affected him too. He had nothing to do with this crime. And people looking at him sideways and whispering and saying, yeah, you had something to do with it. That affected him too. So, him and Taron had a conversation. Taron said it's not like we're gonna be best friends, but at least we're on the road to healing. So the way the episode ends for Taron is, he hasn't reached the settlement yet. As we see, it's been 2.5 years. And, it's been 2.5 years since he's been exonerated. He hasn't received compensation yet. He's working on his relationship with his brother. And, we shall see. But it's bullshit. It's bullshit. He needs to get his money. He needs to get his money because that was his life that the state of New Jersey took away from him for no reason. And no one has been convicted of the crime either. Unfucking believable. So, did you know the state of Kentucky is one of 12 states in the U.S. that does not compensate exonerees for being wrongfully incarcerated? Yeah. And Jonata Carr, she wants you to be pissed the fuck off about it. Yeah, she does. Okay? And I don't blame her. When she was 16, she was accused and arrested and wrongfully incarcerated for the murder of her ex-boyfriend. And this is her after being held in a interrogation room for 11 hours. Yeah. Okay, so this is an article that I pulled up about her. Okay, basically, a woman filed a lawsuit against several officers claiming that she was framed for a murder that she did not commit. Jonata Carr was 16 years old when she was framed by Louisville Metro Police Department officers in connection to the October 2005 murder of Plains Adolphi, according to the lawsuit filed Tuesday. This was in 2020. The lawsuit states the defendant continued ignoring exculpatory evidence in their effort to falsely pin the murder on Miss Carr. It continues to say the lead investigator, Tony Finch, manufactured a false statement for a woman he was questioning in the murder and who was eventually charged that implicated Carr and another man. The lawsuit states that the other two people charged in the murder were also innocent. Carr took an Alford plea to second-degree manslaughter, conspiracy to commit robbery, conspiracy to commit burglary, and tampering with physical evidence, and was sentenced to serve 20 years in imprisonment on April 14, 2008. According to court documents, she was released from prison in 2009 at the age of 20. She was pardoned by Governor Matt Belvin on December 9, 2019. So, I mean, it is unbelievable to me that we live in a country where people could be falsely accused for a crime, locked up for an extended period of time, and not be compensated. You could trip and fall over a crack in the sidewalk, okay, and be compensated for it. But you could be locked up for 20 years and not get compensated for it? Bullshit. So, anyway, that was the first episode of a 3-part limited series. I'm excited to see parts 2 and 3. Stay tuned for my recaps. Thank you so much for watching me. Please hit subscribe if you don't already. Hit the like button, share my video with a friend or 10, and consider joining my membership. Thank you so much. Bye.